What's going on, people? Welcome to Never a Foul. It's your boy Cass as always. If you don't know me, you get to know me. But anyways, today we're joined by two amazing people, and another one don't even need an introduction, to be fair. I don't need to call him amazing. Don't need to call him anything worse. Don't need to call him anything better, because you all know him by the name of MCFC Daps.
Yeah, but sometimes you can boost me a little bit.
Nope. Not today. I've seen you. Not today. No boosting Daps today. It's his turn to boost me next. Pause. Anyways, I
swear last night I was gassing you. Last night I was when we finished.
Can't remember, man. I can't remember.
Bro, you have no excuse.
You know,
I'm drunk. You weren't drunk, bro. I was gassing you.
Oh, you was drunk last night, you mean?
Yeah, bro,
that means there was some element of truth. There was some element of truth to it. Then.
Oh, there's always elements of truth in everything I say, but that's a good way of looking at it. When someone's drunk, there is a lot of elements of truth in what they say.
There really is. But other than that, don't worry, Daps, I got you, man. You know what it is? We're on like 10 streams per day, man. It's just, you know, I don't need to get drunk.
I've only had 2 today, 2 streams, and I think I'm only gonna have 1 maybe tomorrow, maybe 2. That's good. Sunday I'm gonna be busy though.
Oh, busy. Who else has been busy in the back? Obviously, with Manchester City business, obviously repping his side. Oh, there you go. Pause. Big up Clinical, all the way from New York. First time on the stream, making his debut, of course. That said he'll get you on. Today he's got you on.
Yeah, I'm glad for the invitation. You know, I'm happy to be here. And big up both of you guys.
Happy to have you here, bro.
Yeah, man. This is good, man. I've got an encyclopedia on Manchester City, man. So, yeah. And obviously, saving the best till last, because another encyclopedia is coming into the play, and his name goes by Moamen.
What's up, everybody? Go people.
Mm-hmm. Everyone needs to appreciate that green screen, by the way. Look at his background. It's sensational.
Do you know what?
Who's doing it like Moamen?
Bro, this is the thing, yeah. I'm making a new studio at my house, and I was speaking with Soups earlier about the potential of maybe doing the green screen thing. But I was like, I'm put off because I've seen too many green screens that are so bad, where someone picks something up and they can see through it. And Mo, your green screen is just still and clean, and yeah, I love it, and never a foulish as well, which is even better. So
yeah, man. And if anyone noticing as well, this is not a green screen. This is apparently a Norwich scarf and some stickers. So this is my little bit. But as always, me and Daps do this before we start any show. We big up anyone that's tuned in first and foremost. So gonna go down the list. I know he's asleep right now, so big up Sid, all the way from India. Daniel, it says big up. We won't sell Bernardo. Barca would have to pay more than 100 million, and Bernardo wouldn't push for a move. Well, that's what Gerard Romero is not saying though. He's saying it's 80 million.
But
I don't know. He's the most. I would save it. We could save it. Man.
The minute Chelsea, that's getting closer. He's also coming out and saying that Barca are getting closer. So with Koundé, the minute Chelsea start talking Koundé, the same reporters coming out saying, but Koundé to Barca is getting closer. It's no coincidence. The first person that's reporting Bernardo Silva 80 million happens to be a Barcelona journalist.
Oh, so you say it's possible PR that they're trying to push out that they're interested in trying to get Bernardo to, wake up, smell the coffee, maybe.
I've seen clips of City. Sorry, I've seen clips of City on pre-season, and Bernardo Silva is there smiling. That's all I know. He's there smiling. He's not looking upset. He's there bantering with Calvin Phillips and having a good time on the tour. So.
Happiness is key to life. But anyways, got to keep going down. Obviously, I see you there, Eric. FaZe City back in the building. Guna Vettel as well, right in the building, right there. Boom Shakalaka. Big up you, man. I've never seen you in there. He's got a question for you. Save it. You can ask us any questions you want. But make sure it's appropriate.
Yeah. Yes, you may ask me a question as long as it's football related.
Yeah, man. Obviously Sneaker Freak and Imran as well, Abid as well, Gaetano, a Juventus fan. So we've not only got an Inter fan, and here we've got a Juventus fan and Gaetano. So that's always nice to see. And obviously Ilyas every time. Assad, oh my word. Yeah, I know why you're here. I just want to say thanks, Dabs Club, for keeping Ake. So I couldn't be happier. Well, make sure you're smashing a like before you're on your way out. I think Monster's going to be doing a stream in about half an hour or so as well. So it's about time he gets back on the ball. Charlie, I'll star your question. Gaetano, I'll star your question, and so forth and so forth. Solo, singing the blues. Timo Werner, as always. Marie, the lovely Marie. Darcy as well. And obviously the rest of you, just make sure you smash that like button. But we're going to get straight into it because in the back, we was talking about the significance of Koulibaly. And I'm going to let Mo just rip right into it because he said people don't understand how big this signing is. He said it's probably an actual upgrade on Rudiger itself, if I'm correct, Mo.
Yeah, when you have a player that is ready today, he doesn't need anything. He's just gonna come in, already have that link up with Mendy from the Senegalese team, won the AFCON together, and they went to the World Cup together. So it's already a link up, is already ready. You don't need anything. This is the thing.
That's a really good point, I didn't even think about that.
This is a left-footed, right-footed center back that can drive forward with the ball, which is what Rudiger used to do, but without the flair. Imagine the center back has flair. This guy can dribble. This guy can pass. This guy can defend. This guy can run. I know that this clip, him versus Mo Salah, when that year that Mo Salah was just like a monster, a devil coming from somewhere that we didn't know what was going on. But this Mo Salah was doing this to everybody, right? So, but this guy, Koulibaly, I have no idea why he stayed that long at Napoli without being upgraded in a salary. And now he's going to Chelsea. And I think this is linked, and we're going to talk about this, to Nathan Ake's deal collapsing, which is in the you can leave in the banner of the show. But left-footed center back that plays on the left. I'm not going to call him left-footed because he plays with both feet, but he plays on the left for Napoli. When he plays with Kostas Manolas, when he played with Rahmani, he was always on the left side of the defense. He does not play right side. So this is why they wanted a replacement for Rudiger.
That's interesting.
Is it too much to pay 34 million pounds for a 31 years old and give him a 5-year contract? Yes. However, this is a player that is ready today. How many center backs in the world that are ready today that are cost 34 million? Not a lot.
Can I answer that really quickly?
Go ahead.
The reason that the Nathan Ake deal has collapsed is because Chelsea told Manchester City what they would pay for him. What we believe it is in the region of around about 40 to 45 million. Manchester City said, cool, we're going to go and have a look at the market, see what's out there, and we'll get back to you. And today they went back to Chelsea and said, we've looked at the market, we've looked at what's out there for 45 million. Now it's all right, we'll keep him. And you just said they've got to get Koulibaly for 35 million. So that tells you what is in the market for 35 million that they've got to steal. Otherwise, City probably, if Chelsea hadn't have got Koulibaly, City probably would have took that 45 million and gone and got Koulibaly for 35. But ultimately, otherwise, now they look at the market and they're probably seeing 70 to 80 for Koundé. They're seeing potentially for Fofana 70 million, something like that. And they're looking at the market going, nah, we'll keep Ake. So it's a valid point. I mean, 35 million does seem like a steal. Even if it's just 3 years.
There's a 4-year difference in the age between Ake's 27, Koulibaly's 31. Yeah. So, but are they comparable players? I'm sorry, Daps.
No, they're not. But
really.
No. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think you get what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason that Manchester City did not continue with the Ake deal is because they looked at getting 45 million, went and looked at the market, and predominantly in this market, they're like, 45 million is not enough to replace Nathan Ake. Koulibaly went for 35 million. So that's how good a deal Chelsea are getting. That they've gone and got a player for less than we would get for Ake. That, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit here and be shameless. Ake's our 4th choice defender, right? Koulibaly's a better defender than Nathan Ake. I'm not going to say he's 100%. And he costs 10 million less. It's a good deal.
Yeah, it's a great piece of business, to be honest. And I'm just going to say it here. I think from someone who watches Serie A in the Premier League, if this guy comes and performs just 90% of how he performed in the last 2-3 seasons, he's a change from what Chelsea can play. Can play high line, they can press, they can play the ball from the back even better. This guy is I don't know how to call him, but the guy is a leader. He's already the captain of the Senegalese team. It was not Mane, it's not Mendy. It's Koulibaly. So captain of Napoli.
Is he the best centre back in Serie A as well, would you say?
Him with Skriniar, in my opinion. They're both the best centre backs, but
I rate him more than Skriniar personally. I think
Skriniar
Skriniar's good, but I think Koulibaly's just a little bit better.
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest
there's
with
something
you.
about Koulibaly. He can play both 3 in the back and 4. So Skriniar played 4 in the back. He was really good before, but he excelled that last 2 seasons with Inter under Conte and under Inzaghi. So, but I think Koulibaly, in my opinion, even though I'm an Inter fan, I think Koulibaly now is just a massive, massive player. But he is, I don't know why he stayed in Napoli until he was 31, you know?
Do you know what?
Uh,
Would it be fair to
Go
say
on.
that because the more you speak on him, and the more I've said that for me to take Tottenham really serious, I feel Tottenham needs an elite centre back, like not a Linglet, an elite centre back.
Koulibaly would have been perfect.
Well, and for a team that, let's be honest, Tottenham, like with Conte's history of how long he stays at clubs, I don't feel Tottenham need to be buying players for 3 years' time. They need to be buying players for now, and maybe with Perisic, that's a player for now. Maybe they should have come and got Koulibaly, to be honest with you, and then they really could have pushed on.
I'm gonna let other people talk about that.
I don't
particular
worry,
thing.
don't worry. You got a lot of reservations on Koulibaly, and I love that. It's good energy, and it's nice to see. Clinical, man. You're being a bit quiet in the back there. Let's shine a light on you a little bit. Here's one from Dudley Lewis for you as well. Napoli would never sell to City. They don't like Pep. Is that true?
That's true.
Is that true? Why is that the case?
But they don't like City either.
There's no. It's just this guy De Laurentiis, the president. He doesn't sell player. He was. It's the guy doesn't like to sell players. He was forced to sell because Koulibaly has only 1 year left at his contract, and he said, "I'm not renewing."
So what about you, Clinical, with the whole Ake thing? Are you happy to see him stay? There's obviously questions like why is City selling so many players? Is it better to get some players out the door now so you don't have to do it next season? Because I saw like next season maybe you might get rid of a couple additions, or is it just all within Pep's and the board's plan?
Well, to be honest, Ake, yeah, I'm actually glad he's staying because he's a great player. He's fourth choice, but the mentality that he has, you can tell he wants to play more games. So I'm worried that we get another fourth choice player and they don't have the same mentality. They're comfortable there. They're thinking, yeah, I just make some money and win some trophies and I don't really have to work as hard. But every single time Ake has played for us, at least this season, he has been immense. He's come up big in big games. I remember last season, his first season, he wasn't like setting himself in the team, like making his stamp, and a lot of people were giving him criticizing him for it. But this past season, he really has shown his critics that yeah, he can be a Manchester City player, and I'm personally happy to keep him. He has 3 years on his deal, so we don't need to sell him right now, and I can tell that the board is happy to keep him, and it's not like he was begging for a move away. He was open to a move. That's all I was seeing this entire time. So the deal falling through is a blessing personally for me. I like Ake. I want to keep him, and I do think he's gonna continue to do well this season because he's trying to get into that Netherlands team.
Yeah, you know what? It's true, but that's why it don't really make sense for me. If you're trying to get into a Netherlands team, why would you stay at Manchester City? But I suppose you get highlighted for when you do play. But it's like what Daps said about the Brazilians moving. They all want to play, and they're all going for the minutes. They're all going for them sort of moves. Would it not make sense for Ake to make a move, or maybe there's a move for Ake still on the cards for another team? I'm unsure, but there is one player that is going to be moving, and he literally coming about an hour ago, discussing personal terms as it goes. So I'm going to come straight to you, Daps, as well on this, on the Zinchenko's thing. Apparently, he's discussed personal terms. It's all agreed. And a deal, you know what? Actually, somebody said something here. A bid says looking like 30 million as well. What do you guys think about it?
No, I'm not happy with that. I'm not going to lie. Look, I'll be happy for Zinchenko if Zinchenko wants to go because he stayed for 4 years. He's fought for his place. He's every season ended up the season playing a lot. This season, if we look at the Wolves away game, we look at the Real Madrid away game, we look at the last game of the season, Zinchenko was pivotal in all 3 games. We love him, especially with everything he's gone through this year. I don't want to see him go. I'll be honest with you. Charlie said yesterday on the show, I do believe we're bringing in Cucurella. I think that will happen. But let's be honest, Cucurella is a replacement for Benjamin Mendy. He's not replacement for Zinchenko. We've been without Mendy all season. We've been without Mendy, to be honest with you, since he arrived. He's only played probably a handful of where he hasn't played much, and good riddance. But that is who. That is who.
You know, he's been here since 2017, and he's played 50 games.
Is that what it is? It's mad. I mean, he's won a lot of trophies in 50.
For 50 games. I feel like he's played a lot more.
I thought he played less than 50, to be frank. Nah.
A lot of those weren't even starts. That's the thing. A lot of those weren't.
The thing is, let's be honest. Away from his injuries and away from what happened off the pitch, Mendy had his periods. Like Mendy, I think the beginning of the second season when he was fit, and he was flying down the left and he was putting in quick, low crosses, and Aguero was just eating them up very briefly. That's what I've been saying about Sterling going makes sense because the whole Sane and Mendy never played together because Mendy overlapped, Sane held width, doesn't work. But then after that, we kind of got over that side with Mendy, and I just look at games. There's one game in particular when we lost 5-2 to Leicester, and I think it was Nathan Ake was playing left centre back, Mendy was playing left back. And it was a period where Ake was coming under a bit of stick. But I was watching all the games going, I get that Ake's seems to be playing when we're losing games, but he did nothing wrong there. And there was one period where one of my friends messaged me saying, Mendy's looking sick. I think we were 1-0 up at that point, and I said, wait for it. And then there was this one run of play where City were attacking, and Mendy, who was our left back, popped up on the right wing, right? Lost the ball, chased back half-heartedly, committed a foul. From the free kick, he then lost his player and stood still and watched the player run into the box and score. And it was like, I've literally counted 4 mistakes on this man has made. And it's like, but we signed him on a very long contract. And because he hadn't played many games, no one wanted him. So it's like, and this, like I said, this is away from what happened off the pitch. It was like, we have to let his contract run down because no one wants him. He's played, like you said, 50 games since 2017. Nobody is coming in for that man. And again, that was before the stuff off the pitch. So we've been waiting to get an actual left back in for a long time. Cucurella is coming in as our number one left back. I think Cancelo will then switch to the right predominantly and Walker will start playing less slowly. Selling Zinchenko then removes our left back cover. It removes a player who has been there from pretty much the start under Pep, a player that can play sensationally in Pep's system. He knows how to transition with play because he's a very good central midfielder. But City fans will wish him well. We will all wish him well, 100%, because he's stayed and fought. And if he wants to go to kind of get, I do believe, I'll keep saying it to you, Cass. I saw it earlier in the transfer window and I saw it again today and I believe it. He's not leaving Manchester City, where he's a rotational player that wins the Premier League most seasons, to go and join Arsenal, to be on the bench as second fiddle to Kieran Tierney. Now, we all know Kieran Tierney is injury prone, but I still believe if Kieran Tierney is fit, he is Arsenal's left back. I think Arteta has got him because he believes he can add something to their central midfield. I honestly
that's where this is where Kwasi says Zinchenko is a Partey or Tierney replacement. I think this guy is a United fan as well.
I think Arteta has probably said to him, look, you know what it is about being an important part of the squad, and you are going to be in a very important part of this squad, whether it be on the left or whether it be a Tierney replacement or a Partey replacement. They're both very injury prone, and you're going to play a lot of games this season. It's as simple as that. He doesn't need to get into the World Cup squad because they're not going to the World Cup now. The one thing that just sticks with me is, for me, if we buy any left back, it's 50 million, right? It's any left or right back, City, 50 million. This guy is a left back that actually, by trade, is a very competent central midfielder with time left on his contract, and Arsenal are going to get him for 30 million. For me, I said it in June when he was linked with them before, it doesn't seem right. And it was this move, it was that one that said, I'm done with trying to understand prices for players, especially where we don't need to sell him and Arsenal need him. Why would we sell him for 30 million? It doesn't make sense to me.
Oh, so someone actually did say, that might have been a wrong quote. Someone said they heard 35 to 40 million. And then you see earlier that you bought him for 1.7 million. Mo, is that not sensational business, regardless if it's 30, 35, 40 million? Is that worth it? And do you see him as a centre mid at
I
Arsenal?
think go.
No,
Go on, Mo. Go on, Mo.
with all due respect to you, Daps, Zinchenko is not worse than 25, 30 million. You're only saying this because he won the Premier League.
Yes, Mo.
I'm not. I'm saying him because I've
I'm
watched him
sorry.
play football.
Yes, okay.
Yes, Mo.
It's great. I'm sorry. You win the Premier League with Pep. You're not a pivot. You're great because coming off the bench, they switched a right back to be a left back just to cover that side. So that means you're not actually the first choice, even when the first choice was injured, which was Mendy. He's good. I like him flair. I get like the sympathy with the Ukraine thing, and I'm talking about footballing thing. He is good. That 40 million is a lot. If Cucurella is 50 million, Zinchenko is not worth 25. It is, let's just do, it's a simple math. The guy is not a first choice for Pep. He is just there because Mendy is all the off the pitch stuff, and when Cancelo needs rest. I like the flair in Zinchenko's game, but is he gonna come and change Arsenal? Is he better than Tierney? Maybe not. Is he better than Chilwell? I don't think so. Is he? He's just worth 35 million. It's the same as
Is he
Nathan
better than
Ake.
Malacia? I don't think so.
You know what I mean? Like when you play for Pep Guardiola, he makes you worth more, which is why Pep Guardiola
course.
gets paid 18 million a year. This is why Pep Guardiola gets paid that much money. And the reason why Pep Guardiola is one of the greatest coaches in the world because he makes your player worth double. He makes clubs come to your player and say, you know what, I want this player for 50 million. In any other club, he would be worth 25. Zinchenko is good and everything, but 35 is a lot of money for a bench left back that is a makeshift central midfielder for Ukraine. He is
No.
good. I watched him play. I watched him play central midfielder.
Mo, sorry, Mo. He's not a makeshift centre back for midfield.
No. He's not. He's a central midfielder. He's a makeshift central midfielder.
Left back. No, he's a makeshift left back for Manchester City. He's a central midfielder for Ukraine. Just because he
When
plays
he
left back.
came, when he came to Manchester City, was he coming as a left back or a central midfielder?
Central midfielder, I believe. It wasn't left back. 100%. Pep turned him into a left back.
Maybe I didn't watch him enough. I didn't know where he's coming from before, to be honest with you. I know that you bought him for like a 1.5 million. Someone mentioned that in the comments. But to be honest, since I watched him at Manchester, I don't watch Ukraine every day, right? Every time I watched him at Manchester City, he's a left back. Someone can tell me otherwise. You guys always
factually, he's not a left back. He's not a left back by trade.
But he has been. He's now a left back.
He's been turned into one. He's been turned into one, basically.
For how many
I've got
years
actually
now, right?
a comment here. This is from an Arsenal fan himself as well. But big up to everyone in here. If 90 of you, 95 of you, 100 of you, it's fluctuating like mad right now. So if you're having it, this is why I call you guys ratio kings, right? Already I'm seeing 64 likes out of the 90. So I appreciate that big. Everyone here appreciates it. I'm telling you now, Daps appreciates you guys. He loves the likes. So give a like for Daps and Mo and Clinical, bro. We got encyclopedias on for you today. Trust me, they know what they're talking about and they're respectable as well. So great people in the building. I know you're gonna hit there, but I'm gonna bring it up. Where is he? Where is he? Sorry. Gunavettel says no, bro, but he's better than Tavares and we need a better backup. Zinchenko is going to be playing more games than Tierney for us if he comes Clinical. Do you agree?
Well,
starting with clinical. I thought you said if he's becoming clinical. I was going to say, he's not a striker.
Starting with the price, I think 35 to 40 is a fair deal in my opinion. I think he's worth more. I think he should be worth more at least, but it's a price that I would accept. Going to Arsenal, I think, first of all, Tierney has to prove that he can stay fit this season. Just like how Arteta has to prove that he's the man for the job, Tierney has to prove that he can stay fit and earn his game. So if he doesn't achieve that and Zinchenko goes, I do see him starting a lot of games. I do see him putting himself in a position where it's going to be difficult to take him out if Tierney does come back. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be unhappy if that does happen. You're playing well and this guy who's barely playing just because he's fit, he's getting your game time. Like, what is the incentive for him to move to Arsenal then? So there must be some promises there. I don't know if that
Mm.
is he's gonna be left back cover and mainly play in midfield or something along those lines. He can also play left mid as well, as he does play there for Ukraine, and he's brilliant going forward as well. He's good dribbling and he's got a good cross on him. So I can see how Arteta would fit him into his plans. He's a very versatile player, along with a lot of the other players we have. As you can tell, Pep likes versatile players. So if he does go to Arsenal, I'm pretty sure we're all gonna be wishing him the best as City fans. He's been amazing for us, and yeah, I do think it would be a
So
good move for Arsenal to go
slap a
get.
price.
I have a
So
question. I want
go
a
on.
question for Clinical. You mentioned that if Turney and we talk, me and Devs always talk about this.
Mhm.
If the injury happens, both fit, Turney and Zinchenko, who do you think Arteta will start? Clinical?
Start of the season, Tierney, definitely. I do
But
think he
you
goes
think
to Tierney
Zinchenko
initially.
can take over? You're convinced that Zinchenko can. Both of them stay fit all season. You think that Zinchenko can take over that position?
I think potentially he could, but Tierney is I rate Tierney. I think he's a
I
good
rate
player,
Tierney as well.
so I can see Tierney keeping his spot over Zinchenko at least for the first year.
So you
But
want Arsenal to pay 40 million for someone that is coming just because Turner is injured, right? Like because
No, I
assuming
don't
that
think he's
Turner is going
coming
to
there,
keep
bro.
injured. No.
you have to well, a lot of the I say rumors I've seen say that Arteta wants him as a central midfielder. So that's why I was saying if they're getting him for that role, say he's Xhaka replacement, but where Tierney does get injured, he might go back to left back. I do think that is a potential way that this deal could make more sense. I don't like it's similar to when I was saying with Ake. Is the is the grass greener on the other side? Like, are you leaving Manchester City as a backup to go at Chelsea as a backup? Is Zinchenko leaving City as a backup left back to go to Arsenal as a backup? What is the incentive for him to go to Arsenal then? So
Yeah, that's the thing for me. That and even more so, you can actually say with Ake, he's leaving. Um, if he was to have left, he'd probably be leaving to go to a team that played three at the back. So there's more chance of him starting, especially with him being a left central back. Secondly, he's going to a team with Champions League football, right? So he's still playing in the Champions League. So whereas Zinchenko, and we have to remember that Zinchenko, if you ask any Manchester City fan to name you Zinchenko's best performance, although I would probably say Wolves away this year, for me, if De Bruyne did not score as many goals as he did, Zinchenko may well have got man of the match. Um, most City fans are going to say the PSG game, right? Um, Again, Zinchenko, when he came on against Real Madrid, I know he lost that game, but when Zinchenko and Gundogan came on the pitch, and this is very important to why I think Arteta would want him, is it's almost like Pep had said to both of them, when you get on that pitch, because everyone seems to be losing their head slightly, just go and remember the basics. Just please go on there and do the very basics that I drum into you like every single day, right? They came on the pitch, and the goal that we scored at the Bernabeu was Gundogan and Zinchenko doing the very basic stuff, and it led to a goal. Because guess what? If you play the football that Pep expects you to play, move the ball about, space opens up, and that is exactly what happened. And then again, we saw it on the last day of the season with the pass to Rodri. And that is, there's a few things. So you know what? I'm going to agree with you on to a to a in a sense, no, that I no longer am valuing any player in a transfer window based on their ability, right? Because that doesn't seem to be the reason that people go for prices anymore. Years left on contracts are relevant. How much the club that's selling him want to sell him is relevant. How much the club that want to buy him want or need him is relevant. And right now, it does seem like Arsenal, the two positions, as people were saying, Arsenal kind of need is maybe a bit more cover in the middle of the pitch and maybe cover for Tierney, right? That's what. Do City want to get rid of their makeshift left back that for the last 4 seasons has been involved in bailing us out on the left side and ultimately going on to win the league? And every season, when it gets towards the end of the season, Zinchenko plays more and more and more. Never starts as our first choice, but he ends up playing more. And the key to this is he knows how to retain the ball, and he knows how to play in a system. He's played under Pep for 4 years. He knows how to, and he's also a leader. He captains Ukraine sometimes. So I'm not saying as a left back he's better than Tierney. He's not. I'm not saying as a central midfielder he's better than Partey. He's not. But he knows how to win trophies. He knows how to play in a system. He knows how to fight for his place. He knows how to lead. He knows how to retain the ball. Sometimes I've said this on so many streams. When I watch him play, I see like somebody that has been round David Silva for a long time. He's not doing the amazing passes that David Silva does, but he does the very basic stuff that David Silva does, which is just moving around, creating triangles where they need to be made, just to kind of free up the ball from someone else and make the simple passes. And sometimes that kind of doesn't get rated enough, because you need those types of players to open up the players like your Kevin De Bruyne, the players like your Cancelo, the players like your David Silvas, the players like your Gundogan's, just the simple people that are doing the simple things. So I'm not saying he is an elite left back. I'm not saying for that reason he's the same price as Cucurella. What I'm saying is we don't really want to sell him. If Arsenal need him, then you know what? Give us good money, because he's not on the last year of his contract.
I think he wants to leave Daps because he makes 20K a week.
Oh, that's another factor.
Yeah,
pretty much.
But this is the thing. So clinical, you asked the question, why would a player like this winning trophies want to leave? Looking up for the family, 20K a week, contract ending in 2024. He would go to Arsenal and at least make 150K a week, at least to 100K.
Yeah, well,
I don't think he gets that, to be fair.
If he's on 20K,
hold on, Cass, you don't think he will get 100K?
No, I don't think 100K. Look, if someone's gonna say we'll not double, but we'll triple your salary, but not only that, 100K. I'll say 100K is fair enough, man. I feel like if they do that, sensation, 150,
5 million a year.
You got
That's nothing in the Premier League.
Arsenal, when it comes to wages, Arsenal don't dish out fat wages just like that, man. But you know what? Tit for tat, I wouldn't put it past you. Let's put it like that, man. I can't disagree with the glorified Mo, man. When it comes to all the glory to you, Mo, Encyclopedia Mo. You know more than me when it comes to world football, man. And that's not me being patronising either. I'm actually meaning that. I'm gonna go through some quick questions.
You know what, Mo? That is mental. City, fix up, man. You should be paying him more than that.
That's mad.
Why someone in the comments thinks I'm a Chelsea fan? I think so.
No, he's not. No, I think it's because your blue background. I'm gonna. No, I think it's the blue background. Is it into?
Do I have a blue background?
No, I think the wall. Your wall looks kind of blue. The middle of your player is blue. The Koulibaly maybe, I don't know, but that's a serious
one in the Premier League. He's a fan of football.
Yeah, man, it's just people in the comments. I'm gonna go through some quick fire ones. So this is don't want to spend much time on here. Big up to anyone in the comments. Do smash a like. Get this to 100 likes. What are we on? 73. Come on, guys, man. If the views are going up, the likes have to go up. It's only standard. Quick one for you. Actually, this is interesting. Maybe this might not be a bit of a quick fire one. If Bernardo does go out, Bukayo Saka in?
They're not comparable. It's different position.
No, but would they get rid of? Would they get rid of us because they got players that can play in centre mid? Would they then operate? Okay, Sterling's gone out. Zinchenko's gone out. Do we get a Saka? He can play left back. Play left wing. That's for not. Does it not put you a little?
No. You know what it is? Yeah, it's similar to like the Jude when we. For me, if it was this summer, then it's too inexperienced to replace Bernardo Silva. Right now, like if we want to do something big this season, for me, it's not. He ain't got the engine of Bernardo Silva. It's good. Yeah.
Egal doesn't want to hear that.
What about you, Clinical? Bukayo in does it not make sense? If that was ever the case, if you're gonna get Bukayo out, surely you get someone maybe that's a bit more like, because you got a lot of players up and coming as well. It's like what I reckon Mo said. They're getting Koulibaly. They need the here and now. Bernardo's a player of the here and now, so you're not gonna replace that with a player potentially that's either up there with the ability, or they're actually a player that's here and now that's absolutely dope. Makes sense.
Well, if we do sell Bernardo and get Saka in, Saka is a player I do see as a Pep type of signing because he is a versatile player and he is an intelligent player. So I don't think he would have too much troubles fitting into Pep's plans. I don't see much rumors linking him to City right now, so I don't know how much I believe the deal. But in terms of how much I'd want the deal, I rate him as a player. I do like Saka. A lot of people say he's better than Foden. I do not agree with that. But I do think he is a top player, and if he's performing at that level, at his current age for a club like Arsenal, pushing him to 5th place, then he's definitely a quality player. So I would love to have him in our team. He plays off the left, he plays off the right, and potential Sterling replacement.
For 100 million,
Nah,
Clinical,
I
would
can
you,
see-
How
would
much
you
would he
agree with
cost,
that?
though? That's the real question. For 2 years on his deal, how much would he really cost? What would Arsenal
I
be
mean,
looking for?
you're looking at about
100 million.
75 million, I reckon. 80
Would we
million.
want to pay that?
I think 80 million.
I hear we have a deal cooking up that's about to break the internet or something like that. but I
Wait,
don't
hold
think
that,
it's
hold that
Saka.
one, hold that one. I'm gonna come to that. Actually, I love that you said that because I want to come to Moamen at first. But
Hold on,
apparently,
can I
just
just
in
say,
from
hold on, before you say that real quick, this is back to the
Go on.
Zinchenko thing, final thing. I've just looked at it. You are spot on. He's on 20 grand a week, and Kieran Tierney's on 110 grand a week at Arsenal. So, I mean, I'm not saying they're going to pay him the same as Kieran Tierney, but you could definitely say he's going to push it up to 80 grand a week, 100% if he moves Arsenal.
yeah,
So,
yeah. That's what I was
I
thinking.
mean, and furthermore, his agents will be pushing the look. There's no, there's two things. I'm going to be, firstly, there's no Champions League football, so you need to pay him a bit more. Secondly, and I'm going to be completely honest with this, and it's not me using it as in any sort of disrespectful way. He's Ukrainian right now, yeah, and a lot of people are getting behind Ukrainian people, Ukrainian footballers. There is a relevance to that, okay? If you think about it, there's a massive relevance to that. The amount of attention that Zinchenko has got in the last 9 months is a lot more than he used to get. So there is a relevance in that as well. So I know it's a shit side of football, but it is a side of football that it's unfortunately it's marketing and it's marketing a negative
true.
thing, but it's still marketing it.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
there is a relevance to that. So I think he could easily get close to 100 grand a week. But sorry, carry on with that. And people keep smashing lights.
Other than this is about Barcelona, the war criminals, saying if we talk about war and everything that's going on in the world, they are the biggest war criminals going. Lewandowski will be a Barca player. I don't see now. I'm gonna have to. I don't know how they're getting all these players. I want to move on from them. We'll talk about them probably towards the end. When it comes to Man United situation, I don't know. It's just annoying. It has to be.
And that's their biggest issue is their wage bill. It's not the amount they've been signing players for. It's their wage bill. They've got their wage bill down to potentially have to go and pay Lewandowski. The only thing is it might be over a 2-year deal instead of a 5-year deal or something. But still,
maybe.
A lot of money.
Anyone want Reece Williams, the Liverpool youngster, clinical Mo for Inter? Reece Williams, yes, no.
That's a sinner. That Reece Williams.
Reece Williams from Liverpool.
Yeah,
I haven't really seen him too much.
The Welsh guy, I think, yeah, he's terrible, man. I'll big up Pablo for that one. I'm going to come on to this one a little bit. So I haven't seen, if there are any Chelsea fans, do let me know about this. Timo, all right. Thoughts on Liverpool's elite striker after 2 games. Daps posted a funny clip that I posted on my Instagram. It's hilarious. It's absolutely.
Oh, there's a better one. There's a better one. There's a highlight. There is a highlight. So there was the dummy that wasn't a dummy, where the ball got put across and he just air struck it. And then there was the highlights of him. And the best one for me, to be honest with you, was the header because it confused me. At first, I thought it was showing that he's got good defensive ability. And I thought he was clearing. And I was thinking, what's he doing in his own box clearing the ball like that? When the ball's been put forward and he's headed it back to the player that put it forward to him.
Oh, Timo Nunes. Wow.
Look, I'm still not going to say that. I'm not going to be ashamed to say he's rubbish or anything. I don't know enough about him. What I am going to say is, as a Premier League rival, you love to see someone start off like this because his confidence is going to get knocked. I'm sorry, but it's Liverpool. They're going to be our challengers next season. I want to see their strikers have no confidence. I want to see Salah miss some chances. Please, make it easier for us. So long may it continue. Hopefully Marshall drops some form like that as well soon as well, please.
Oh, I'm loving it. We'll talk about Martial a bit later. I've already seen that. What's this? Before we talk about a certain player who's linked to City, who might get linked to Chelsea as well, apparently it's going to blow through the roof. I want to get Mo's thoughts on that. But before we do that, I want to talk about this player here. I've seen his link. This is a left wing back, by the way. Hoffenheim player. David Raum was linked to Man United, now linked to Chelsea. They've already got Klaus for their right wing back. Does anyone know anything particularly about David Raum? He had an amazing season on the Hoffenheim. I was going to come to Mo on that personally. I feel like he knows the world of football. See, this is what I say to any Chelsea fans out there. If you know a little bit about David Raum, I'm not too sure. But
Is that a no from
GB,
you, Mo?
I don't
What about-
know him.
don't know
What
much
about you,
about him.
Clinical?
I looked into him a little bit. I've never seen him play live, but I watched the highlight video of him, not to see how good he was, but to see what type of player he was. He seems like a player that is more like a wing back, really good going forward, getting across into the box.
Extremely good.
I'm not really sure how versatile he is. I saw some links to City.
Yeah, I've seen a few links to City as well.
as an
to be
alternative
honest,
to Cucurella, and
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. Is he really a Pep type signing?
I
Possibly,
think so.
but
He
I don't
is.
think ideally.
I think he is, yeah.
In terms of the versatility, I know that's not like be all end all, but it's one of the things I do look at. But I could see him working in a Chelsea system. I don't think he would want to be back up to Chilwell though, because I do
Yeah, it's
think
good point.
Chilwell is gonna play a large chunk of games for Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I think whoever gets him is getting a good player. I'm wondering why the links to United aren't stronger. To be honest, because he would be
Because we got Melissa on.
So you know,
So basically,
best left back in the
he
world.
costs around 25 to 30 million. That's just allegedly anyway. 25 to 30 million pounds. He's actually, I think he's Germany's number one left back now. Also, he can play. You know what? If you're going to compare it to anyone, it's actually Zinchenko. That's his similar playing style, but he's a lot faster. I think Zinchenko is a lot more technically sound than him, but other than that, I wouldn't say I know loads about the player. I know he's a flying wing back. He loves to get forward and put a lot of crosses in. Same as Bernardo Silva for Stuttgart. So that's probably another player that Chelsea.
Do you know what? Something you just said there though, and this goes back to what Mo said, and this is why I feel that Zinchenko is. When I said Zinchenko's worth what he's worth, but it also backs what Mo said about Zinchenko, that Zinchenko's played under Pep for 4 or 5 years now. 5 years, I believe, yeah. So when you say Zinchenko's technically better, Zinchenko's played under Pep for 5 years. So Zinchenko has learnt and has become technically better in a system. And that's why I think Arsenal, maybe there is a relevance. I was saying with Chelsea's being after Ake, being after Sterling, and Arsenal being after, Jesus, and that you can become technically better. I think Milner's a great example. I saw Milner grow at City because and this is when Pep said Foden didn't get loaned out, he had to stay and be around certain players, and now with McAtee, he has to stay and be around certain players. Your technical ability and understanding can improve by day in, day out training with certain players. Zinchenko, for that reason, might be worth a bit more now to Arsenal. If you bring in someone that's not technically as good as Zinchenko, put him around Pep for 2 years and round De Bruyne and round Cancelo and round Rodri and round these players, his technical understanding could also improve. So I think there is a relevance to that. But his name's been linked with City a lot. I know City's fan base are really keen on that guy. Really, really keen.
Wrong.
Yeah, really keen. I keep seeing his name pop up.
Well, another name that's just popped up, I can see it all in the comments right now.
Confirmed?
Is this guy. That's confirmed now. Lewandowski to Barcelona. Here we go. FC Bayern
Why
have
is it
just told
dropping?
Barca.
Sorry, why is it drop? Bro, this is the second time that this has happened. Barcelona have dropped news really late at night.
I don't know,
Second time
man.
it's happened, you know.
He's going to join apparently Barcelona during the weekend. Obviously, they're going out to their preseason tomorrow, so I'm going to guess they're going to link up with him, there. Wherever I think going in America. This is a massive. This is massive. I can't. All right, I was going to talk about the war criminals later, but might as well talk about the war criminals now since they're a bit relevant. This obviously is breaking Chelsea hearts, the club that you support apparently. So, what's your take on it?
So apparently Barcelona sold their TV rights for the next 25% for the next 20 years. So they're getting money up front. This is how they can fund all these deals. This is what is happening. This is how they are funding the Rafinha deal. They're getting money up front, selling something they don't have yet, but for years to come. So that's how they can afford all these deals. They still owe the players the wages, PK, De Jong, and other players.
PK's mad, you know.
Oh, it's a mad summer.
And
You're gonna tell me Etu and Abaloa
Yeah.
soon or something.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this with this Lewandowski, because I want to see Lewandowski and Benzema head to head in La Liga
Oh
playing
wow!
against the same thing. To be honest with you, I want to see both players head to head. See who's gonna get the Pichichi in La Liga next year, and see who's gonna score more goals, because both of them, they play similar. If you don't watch Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga, I watch a little bit of Bayern Munich games, and he's not just the striker that just score goals. He gets involved in the game really a lot. People think that he's just a poacher in the 18. No, he's not. He actually drops deep, gets the ball, and gets involved in the build-up play, which is, you need that in Barcelona. And he's definitely better than Martin Braithwaite. Absolutely.
Not as rich, but better. Yeah.
Yes. So he is great. That the problem with this transfer, as people saying in the comments, this opens a big gap at Bayern Munich. Who are they coming for? Are they coming for someone from the Premier League, or are they gonna do it locally from the? Because the one local guy that was supposed to go to Bayern Munich, which is Haaland, City already got the guy. So who is going from the Premier League to replace Lewandowski at Bayern Munich? This is something that we haven't heard any news yet, but I'm assuming someone will go from the Premier League to replace that. And I don't know who, but someone is
So,
going.
so does that mean so? Yeah, I was gonna say. So as you can hear that pigeon in the background, clinical. Do you reckon that means Ronaldo is definitely going to be on the cards for Bayern Munich now?
Absolutely not. Because, okay, I'm not gonna say absolutely, but most likely not. Do you guys ever take Bayern Munich as a stupid club and never seen them do stupid business? Never.
Very
These
true.
guys.
Apparently, Oliver Kahn's actually contacted Man United allegedly.
But Oliver
tell me,
Kahn came
Daps,
out and said
you
they
said-
weren't interested about a week
Yeah,
ago.
That's what I thought. I thought I'm
the
not.
director said they're not interested in going in for Ronaldo. But
It doesn't make sense, and then nowadays
Unless-
it's making sense.
Unless it's
I
a
don't know.
stopgap.
Unless these guys
Yeah.
like come with like a shitty bid for Manchester United, someone
They will.
convinced this guy, we're gonna offer you a 3 years contract, but you're not gonna make the 50 million you're making Manchester United. You're gonna make way less, and you're gonna come in, play Champions League, because this is their selling point. The guy publicly said, I want to play Champions League, because
win
I
one
think
more,
someone
innit?
said, I heard that in a podcast. He doesn't want personally, and I think that too. I'm convinced he doesn't want to get behind Messi in the Champions League goals. He wants to stay the Champions League top scorer ever. And if Messi gets some goals this year and Ronaldo doesn't play, bang, he's behind in golden balls
Valid
and
point
behind
in.
in the goal score. So this might be a selling point for him.
You know
It
what
is,
I
and
want,
if
Mo?
you think about it,
Oh, one
because
sec.
with
Can I pause you
No,
there for a bit?
yeah,
Daps?
please do, please do.
You know what I want? I want likes, guys. 100 likes. Come on. 13 away. Over 100 of you watching consistently, which is beautiful to see. So big up everyone that has liked it. Thank you very much. Do subscribe, otherwise you can't comment respectfully. And I'm sure there's a few of you that probably don't have accounts, so do make an account if you want. But if not, I'm not going to obviously force you to do so. But do smash a like for all these brilliant people. It doesn't take... Just double check. That's all you got to do. But yeah, go on, Daps, take it away.
Yeah, I think it's very relevant what he said there. Not only because it's firstly Ronaldo, and we know that Ronaldo definitely has a bit of an ego, but secondly, it is relevant that if you're Ronaldo or Messi and your goal tally is how it is, which is extremely large, you can really think, do you know what? If I retire with more goals than Messi in the Champions League, then I'm going to be staying there for a long time. Tell me, can someone tell me what goals they're on compared to everyone else in the Champions League?
141, 125, then Lewandowski 86. So he is
right. So it's
Wow,
mental.
what-
It's like
you're
shit,
quick.
bro. It's bro.
Quick.
Thank you. That is like the Shearer record in the Premier League, right? It's very superior. You hold that record. It's not like 1 or 2 goals, but you know sooner or later, in a couple of years, someone's going to come along and smash it. Whoever ends their career with that record is likely to hold on to that
forever.
probably through their child's lifetime at very least. Yeah, so it is very relevant. And if you ask anyone what clubs are going to win the Champions League any season, right, they're going to put Bayern in there. It'll be Real Madrid will be in there, Bayern will be in there, Liverpool might be in there, and then you'll usually have a City or a PSG, just because people think sooner or later one of those two, because of the players they've got, to get it. But the three that are always there are Bayern, Real Madrid, and Liverpool. So I think of all the clubs that he could move to, I think that's the one that Ronaldo would want the most, especially with the way the league is. It's literally just if Bayern want it, and you spot on Bayern in the transfer window. Bayern are. I probably have the most respect for Bayern Munich in the transfer window and how they do business.
Yeah, I agree, man. And
they're
PSG are
not
trying to
gonna-
go along that way now as well. You can tell that they're
Bro,
trying to slowly
everyone wants
copy it.
the way they do business, the amount of times where you don't even know that they're linked with anyone, and all of a sudden it just drops. Fabrizio
like that.
Romano don't even get the tapping. It's that clinical. With them.
Shameless.
It's that clinical. It does make sense, and I do think with it would be probably because all we've been saying all summer is when you're looking at the striker game, there's not much out there, and there isn't much out there. The younger ones, the Mbappes, the Haalands, have been snapped up. What's his name? Ronaldo could give a 2-year stopgap, 2-year stopgap until the next young, big kind of that Bayern can grab for 5-6 years. So it kind of would give them but it's going to be hard. It's Ronaldo. How much does Ronaldo want it? How much does Ronaldo want his legacy, and how much money does he want? Because that's what it's going to come down to.
That's what it's going to come down to. It's either your legacy
Bayern
at Man United
Bayern will
or
not
just
give him
money.
both. Bayern aren't going to pay him what PSG would pay him.
He's got to think about Champions League. I reckon Jorge Mendes is definitely going to push for that Bayern Munich move. I feel like this is best realistic chance at getting a Champions League and more success, obviously, in Liga. But I'm going to move on quickly. Clinical. I'm going to come straight to you on this one. I've seen a lot about it. City thing. I think, did it drop yesterday, Daps? I know what I'm going to talk about. But another superstar on the stage is Neymar. Obviously, I see a couple of Chelsea fans wanting him. They nearly secured him back in the day before he got blocked. I think it was around 2011 or 12. Then he went to Barcelona. But there's lots of links to City. I know, before he moved to Barcelona, he was actually meant to sign for Chelsea, believe it or not, for 40 million. But
Who?
Neymar. But obviously, I know your thoughts on Neymar. But I know you said it yesterday as well on the corner show about Neymar. But give a summary of this whole thing with Neymar and City. Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? Do you want him? No.
It's personally, I'm kind of split on the Neymar decision. Like, as a football fan, I want to see this guy play for my club. He's an amazing player. He has an amazing locker in terms of what he can do with the ball, and I'm pretty sure that when he does play, he'll be a great player for us. But that when it does play is very key. He is one of those players you look at, you hear his name, and you're like, yeah, I bet he's injured. And I'm not sure I want to bring another injury-prone player into Manchester City. We've suffered with it with Mendy. Like, he was supposed to be our starting left back, and his inavailability is criminal. So I'm wondering, like, thinking about this, obviously it is something that we would be considering. What, like, are we weighing up the benefits and against that and saying the benefits are enough, so we should go for him? It seems like something is really cooking backstage in terms of City planning something big. Could it be Neymar? Maybe, potentially. Has Pep worked with him before? No, right?
Nope.
Pep was at Bayern when he was at
Barcelona,
right?
So
Pep
he left in 2012.
I think like Pep, because Pep had it. Was it a year Pep had out when he left Barca? Was it?
Yeah. I think it's a 2013 year.
I went to Barcelona. I went to Barcelona the summer that Neymar signed for them, and Pep wasn't there at that point. So I think it was maybe a year or two difference between the two.
On the other hand, though, Daps, like Neymar for PSG, I do think he is underrated and he doesn't get as much respect as he does deserve. He hasn't, I don't think, hit the heights he has hit at Barcelona, but he has not been a bad player for PSG. He's right now, I think he has
injury prone,
more
man.
goal
Never available
and games played for PSG and he has put on some big performances for them too.
But this is my issue with Neymar is right. Someone asked on the stream, has Neymar underachieved? And everyone started shooting him down. And I thought, yeah, I think you need to understand the question he's asked. He didn't say is Neymar rubbish.
Hmm.
He didn't say. He said underachieved. And if you think about Neymar on the come up, I think it's a valid point because Neymar at Barcelona was very successful and he's part of an amazing front three. PSG paid what they paid for him for Neymar to come in and I mean, listen, we've probably done the same with players where we've got people. Haaland is probably a prime example that everyone will say we've got Haaland to win us the Champions League. So that was Neymar's chance to step away from Messi, step away from Suarez, and it be about Neymar. Admittedly, Mbappe was there, so it probably wasn't the best place to go to because you're joining a club with that's French with a French icon. So it's kind of. But here's my thing, and I'm not going to be shameless and say I watch every PSG game. Unless Man City are playing PSG, I don't watch PSG. Okay, I can comment on what I've seen against Manchester City. I've never seen anything that impresses me at all, right? Not even close to impresses me for PSG. I then kind of think of, and this is a question to everyone else now, big games, and I don't mean you can show me that in a game against the team that's 12th in the French league, does he turn it on in big games?
Yeah.
He does.
I'm not saying every
he
big game
does
he comes
turn
up
up, but
and he's a big game player that gives you a hat trick every big game. But even the last past season, when they played Real Madrid, he was the one that assisted the goal that Mbappe scored that put them into the lead on aggregate. And then the next leg, he assisted Mbappe again to put them up 2-0 on aggregate, and Donnarumma threw the game, him and Marquinhos. So I wouldn't put that and say, okay, Neymar didn't do enough, so he's not stepping up in the big games. His Champions League record is pretty insane too. I think he's played 70. I was looking at his stats the other day. I think he played 75 Champions League games and has like 41 goals and 35 assists in the Champions
I
League.
don't.
Even that game
For me, unfortunately, I'd
years
probably
ago.
say I feel he's overrated, and that's probably impacting me. That I'm thinking, does he suit City? Ultimately, right? Are Manchester City going into this transfer window thinking, do you know what we need? We need Neymar. Let's go and get Neymar. Or is it a case of Neymar needs to move? Neymar wants to move. Neymar doesn't really want Man City. He doesn't know what he wants. He just wants to move.
Mhm.
And so, because City have sold a few players and City have bought Mbappe, all of a sudden, Haaland, people are putting two and two together and going, and now it's like, well, yeah, they'll pay me nice, and they're in the Champions League and they're winning league. So you know what? I'll go Man City, and Pep's a good manager. And it's like, if it's not like our club do things too strategically, the Ronaldo signing last summer would have been we're buying Neymar because his agent, while talking to us about Bernardo Silva, said, by the way, Ronaldo's free. And this one seems like another one. It doesn't seem like something that we've gone into the transfer window trying to do. It's something that an opportunity has been given. It would feel like a commercial thing for me, and I don't like commercial deals. It's that, and he could come and he could bang, but I don't know. The other thing is,
I got a question for that kind. Not a question, but I would say
I don't
like
think it would suit the style of play we're going to play as well.
I think he does. I think he cooks for you, man. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he does cook for you. Under Pep, 100%. But as you said something relevant again. That's before in other streams. It's going to be his last World Cup. He said so. He probably wants to do so. He loves Brazil. He loves the fans. They love him. Would he not want to go somewhere where he's going to win, where his drive is going to be fully motivated? He wants to play to the top of his game, and maybe he thinks Pep elevates my game. I've got till December to get fit, do this, do that. What about you, Mo? What's your whole thing on this Neymar malarkey?
It's gonna ruin the Premier League if he goes because of the way he plays and also because of the wage. The guy makes 40 million pounds a year. Who makes that in the Premier League? And he has a 5-year contract with PSG that was just signed a year ago. The guy makes that much money and he has a deal that will go until 27. And if City sign him, he has to be the superstar because of the much amount of money he makes, right? And that would He hurt players like De Bruyne, he hurt players like Mahrez, and these guys that are like leading the team.
Haaland.
Haaland as well. I think he will stop the way City plays, because I get what Clinical is saying. The guy is an absolute magician on the pitch, right? But does he actually, is he a magician by himself, or he's a magician for a team? I bet he's a magician by himself. He
I
does
don't
not
know. But
suit.
the PSG Neymar, yes, but the Barcelona Neymar when he had structure under Luis Enrique and that was come on, that was
That was Messi.
dangerous.
Gas. That was nobody can
But
be a
this is
magician with
Pep.
Messi.
This is
Gas.
Pep. But this is Pep, bro.
No,
I'm not
but
gonna
let's
say
be
no,
100.
no.
Sorry, we have to deep that, yeah. We have to deep that. And I have to listen to what other people say, because
all right.
I listen to what other people say, right? And other people will tell me that Luis Suarez is in the top 5 strikers, right? Not just what he did at Liverpool, but they'll talk about what he did at Barcelona. We all know how good Messi is. So you're telling me that Neymar was playing alongside Luis Suarez, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, right? And then you're going to tell me that he was successful at Barcelona. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Like, I get it. He was. But I don't know. There's little things. Do you know what I really don't like? There's one moment that I really didn't like, and I really rate PSG fans for how they dealt with it. Was when he arrived at PSG and he started disrespecting Cavani, and the way PSG fans weren't cool with it, right? I don't like players like that. I do not like players like that. Respect your fucking elders, especially elders that have a legacy at a football club. To come in and disrespect him like that, I would not want Neymar to come to our club and disrespect Kevin De Bruyne or something like that. I wouldn't want it. Haaland is on the same wage as Kevin De Bruyne, right? And Haaland has accepted that, and I rate that, because for how high Haaland is right now in world football, with his commercial value, he could have quite easily said, no, you're paying me more than De Bruyne. But we've managed to keep the balance by Haaland taking the same as Kevin De Bruyne. If I was to hear that Neymar's come in and is on more than both of them, I'd worry about what's going on at our club. I honestly would, because I think this is going to upset the apple cart. We've worked very hard to get Haaland and De Bruyne on the same wages, because they'll both understand this is what I bring, as I've been at the club for this long. I'm playing with the season, most seasons I'm doing this and that. And Haaland, even though, yeah, I'm the young star coming in, it's cool. I respect this guy's legacy. I'd have to, at very least, to see Neymar come in, see that same respect. Otherwise, I'd be worrying about my club. I'll be honest with you. I really would.
But Cass, I want to ask something. I would love to see it.
Oh
I would
yeah.
love to
I
see it.
would love to see
Yeah.
it. I
Yeah.
wouldn't love to see it. I wouldn't love to see it.
Listen,
No.
I'm gonna be active on
Yeah,
Twitter
this-
if he signs. Trust me, I'm gonna reactivate my Twitter account.
Oh, I'd
But
love that.
can I
That
add
would be
one
fun,
more thing
right?
on
That would
Neymar?
be fun.
Can I add one more thing on Neymar? One thing that so I'll understand if people are saying they don't want him at their club for reasons like his wages or his attitude or his work rate, stuff like that. But what I don't understand is when people are saying he's washed since he went to PSG and stuff like that. I don't agree with that personally. And I want to say, Daps, you made a point that he has probably underachieved in his career. And I think that is a reason why a lot of people don't rate him and they take it to the extreme.
Yeah. Well, I said
fair.
before.
It's on a
when I
level
said,
where is the people that he's getting compared with, like people are like, it's Messi and Ronaldo and then it's Neymar. So if this guy is not performing to his potential, that doesn't put him in the same league as some other man. That's the thing. And I'm gonna use Chelsea as an example here, but a Chelsea fan might say, "Oh, I don't want Neymar because this reason and that reason is not good enough, and that. But let's go get Gnabry."
No, Clinical. The only team that Neymar might ruin the whole culture in the club is City, because there is nobody bigger than Pep inside the club. He is the biggest head, no matter how big you are. Like
Khaldoon for me, but
no, but I'm talking about the people we see.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, within the people you see on the pitch, the bench, there is nobody bigger than Pep. Pep can bench anybody. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah.
Any other
Facts.
club, no.
Facts.
Any other club, no. Like, even Mo Salah got what he wanted at Liverpool. And I'm not saying club is smaller, but there is a superstar somewhere, like at Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel is trying to build it, but if Neymar goes, he's gonna be the image of the club. It's not gonna be Thomas Tuchel. Salah is the image of if Liverpool. It was him and Mane in City. You heard City, you have one name in your mind. It is Pep's boldness. This is what you.
Yeah,
This is what
you know what?
And
Boldness or boldness or boldness?
Both.
No,
Which one?
boldness, bro.
Both.
But this is the thing. This is
But
what
you
I
see
said
what I
about
mean,
PSG.
Daps?
No,
You
that's
see what I
spot on.
mean?
And this is kind of one of the things I was saying with PSG. Now, I don't rate that highly. I rate him as a footballer, one of my favourite footballers of all time. But I don't personally yet rate Zidane. Right? And this is similar to the Neymar thing. When I say I don't rate him, it's based on I don't rate him as highly as maybe his accolades suggest. Because yes, he's got multiple Champions Leagues, but I also think during that period he had multiple game-winning players that were winning games individually. I wouldn't necessarily. However, at PSG, the one thing I would say is I think I respect what they're doing. They're trying to change everything at PSG from the way they're buying players to also the way they're going with their manager. But I always thought that when you saw Pochettino look at Messi that way, look at Pochettino that way, everyone's like, Pochettino's days are numbered. Lionel Messi's just looked at Pochettino like, how dare you? Now, if Zidane went there, he is like Pep, that one manager that whether it be Messi, whether it be Mbappe, he can't look at Zidane like that. Because guess what? Mbappe, you might be big, but actually in French football, Zidane is bigger than you, bro. You can't look at him like that because there's very few players from Zidane's era nowadays that little youngers will know about. But guess what? Mbappe fucking knows about Zidane. He knows about Zidane. Whether he knows about him winning Champions Leagues as a manager, winning Champions Leagues as a player, or winning World Cups as a player, people know about Zidane. And it's the same with Pep, that there are certain managers that can just... But I think, personally, I still believe that Pep has had to be convinced by our board slightly on the Haaland thing. Slightly. I'm not saying he's anti it, but I think there would have been some probably quite in-depth conversations between Pep, the sporting directors, the commercial side of things, and some very deep conversations about how Pep wants the club to go where they want it to go, and we all agree to disagree.
What? How is that?
What if Bernardo Silva? One sec. I've just had an epiphany, you could say like that. What if, right? Bernardo Silva is.
Hold that, because that's Bernardo Silva. This was a question about what I just said.
Oh, was there a question? I thought you was a statement.
Mo was about to ask me a question about what I just said.
Look, I thought they wanted a forward, and he wants a forward, and there was nobody better in the market for that money than Haaland. There was no one else.
I think Pep wants 11 midfielders always. I think
Facts.
Pep wants. I think deep down. I also think Pep wants someone that he can turn to and say, "We're playing Liverpool away. We need to dominate the midfield. So you, young man, are holding the bench today." And I think Pep would probably think, have I got a little young Zlatan on my hands again that I'm going to have disagreements over because there's certain games where I don't want him to start for the good of the team. And you know what? I think Haaland actually is probably, because I think Haaland would have considered this as well. I think Haaland's probably someone that wants to learn and it wants to play under Pep. But I do think there would have been conversations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Pep was anti it. Would have been conversations. And Pep's come round to the way of thinking they've agreed this is the right man. That's why we've gone for him.
Careful what you say. You're starting a fire when you said that. Careful what you say.
Of course I will. Of course I will. I will. There's certain things I will. But my fan base it is what it is. I'm not saying Pep's against it, but I do think that Pep would look at Pep's track record with strikers and tell me that isn't slightly relevant, because it is. But I think Pep will have gone, okay. Probably spoke with Haaland in conversations, but there's been conversations. It has not been a case of Pep went to the board and said, "You must get Haaland for me." I don't believe that's happened. Now, if the board then went and said, "Right, Neymar," I think Pep would probably have his back up a bit more. I could be wrong. I haven't heard what Pep said on Neymar, but again, it's another ego that Pep has to try and manage.
Oh, yeah, I have no doubt that we have it under his thumb, man.
I think so, bro, because that's Pep Guardiola. But it's another ego you have to manage, right?
Man,
And
when you have a
again,
successful team, that's what happens. There all egos there, man.
Bro, but no one's. Mo said it. No one's bigger than Pep, and no one is bigger than Manchester
No, I know
City.
that, but
Now,
I mean,
every
like, if
other
you've
fan
got
base will say many people are bigger than Manchester City, but I'm telling you, no one's bigger than Manchester City, and our fan base will tell you the same. We love our club too much for having egos coming in and changing Manchester City because we love our club more than we love the players. So, but don't get me wrong. To see Neymar and Haaland at City, the shameless side of me would.
all right, FIFA is looking good for some of you, man, on the Ultimate Team, man. It's shameless, man. But what's it called? Yeah. So guys, there's 150 of you in it. It's good to see on average of 150. I'm not gonna lie, man. You lot are gonna get me emotional right now. But at the end of the day, if you want to get me emotional, you have to smash that like button. All right? Tired, man. We've got ratio kings up in here. Some of you got to learn. Ratio is everything. 156, but 96 likes. Come on, bro.
Oh, that needs to be better than that.
That is not. It's like, oh, big up Azza in the building. Maybe Double A Talking Kit. Make sure to check his YouTube channel out, Talking Kit. I'm not joking. Good content. Good content. But on another note, I want to talk a little bit Man United. We've got about 10 minutes left before we end the stream and everything because we're not doing these 2-hour things no more. Sorry to say, unless it's a call-in show. Other than that, though, so on Manchester United, obviously we just talk about the other side of Manchester. We spoke about Chelsea, a little bit on Arsenal, Manchester, but I don't really want to talk about Eriksen too much just yet. I want to talk on something because Daps is like, he said it earlier. I'm going to come to you, Clinical, in the corner. Anthony Martial, right? I just want to talk about it because right now it's feeling like a little bit of a new signing for us. I don't know where he's come out of, but it's only pre-season, some may say, and rightfully so. They have every right to say that. But at the same time, give us your thoughts on Manchester United, whether it's Eriksen, but in particular, have you got any reservations on Martial before Daps goes off on one?
Martial, I don't particularly rate him too highly. I do know he's a good player though, but I don't think he's like what you need as a striker to like go forward personally.
Okay.
I do think can he play off the left as well? I do think he's a more versatile player that can play centrally and on the wing. Am I wrong on that?
He can play on the wing if need be, but I feel like he's best utilized up front. Personally, you're seeing if you don't know, like Martial is, I feel like he's just the ultimate number 9 for Erik ten Hag. Not saying he's going to do wonders, but he's everything you'd want in a tradition.
If you guys were to play him there, because technically, I think he would do well in a false 9 system.
I don't think we're doing a false 9 this season. Erik ten Hag has seemed to go with a 4-2-3-1. So it's not a false 9. He likes to hold up ball to feet player. He likes to obviously drive into the box when he's got a bit of space, play 1-2s. That's the type of, he's an all-round kind of striker, in my opinion. It's just that he hasn't hit the heights. Maybe he's had a lack of coach since he brought in since LVG, and that's definitely halted his progress as a player. Yeah. So, but it looks like Erik ten Hag's kind of got an arm around his shoulder. You see it as well during preseason. He's saying like, "Well done," all this kind of stuff. Just a little like for most strikers need an arm around the shoulder so they get firing again.
What I think he's been lacking mainly is his confidence, personally. Like, when I do see him and he's not... I remember a game you guys played against us where I think we lost 2-0.
Bro, I know the game. Ty from Trafford
the Bruno chip.
That's exactly it. I hate remembering that game because I feel like we played so well, but we still lost, and I hate losing to United, bro.
That was the one that Ty speaks on all the time. He literally, whenever he wants to talk on Martial, he says, "Remember that game against City?" And that's like, anyway, we'll carry on, Clinical. Carry on.
Yeah, so I do know that there is a player in there, and I know you're hoping that Ten Hag can find him and bring him out, get him to that next level. I do know that when he came into United, it was like, whoa, this is going to be an insane player for you guys. And he's still relatively young. He's actually younger than I thought, honestly. I
25,
thought like 27, 28, but he's just 25 years old.
Been around for a minute.
If he does get his career kickstarting now, I think it's a big season coming up for him, and it looks good that he's playing well in preseason. I haven't seen him yet personally. The half that I have seen of the game against Liverpool was the second half, and I don't think he was on by then. So I haven't seen him yet. I will be looking out for him though to see what he's gonna come with throughout the season.
Nice. Yeah, man. I'm optimistic. Obviously, as a United fan, you have to be But moving on to the transfer part, obviously, I'm not gonna let Daps go on Marcel because I want him to hold his opinion in for when he does a show
No, I want to speak on
soon.
it. It's a different time.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
speak on it. But let Mo go first. Let Mo go first.
I was
Please.
gonna say Mo. Obviously, Christian Eriksen's just come through the door. He's official. He's announced. It looks like Martinez is doing his medical, unless he's already completed. What does that mean for Man United? And do you think they are good signings?
Absolutely. Christian Eriksen is someone that will add a lot to your club. The guy, okay, his numbers are behind Kevin De Bruyne in terms of like chances created, and he had a terrible last half season at Spurs, went outside the country for a year and a half, came back, stayed 6 months out of playing, and then played only 6 months, and his number is still behind Kevin De Bruyne since he joined Spurs. So you're getting a player that will just create chances left and right. Plus, he was trained under someone called Antonio Conte. That means the work rate changed from playing for Pochettino, the exciting football, to the hard-working football. So this guy can play both aspects of the game, can create chances, but also can work hard because he played deeper with the Inter before the heart problem that he had, which is it's just something that it was sad to see because we wanted him to stay at our club. So you're getting a player that will probably play higher on the pitch than Bruno, or also play deeper, which can play next to McTominay, next to Lisandro Martinez.
Oh, why
Because
did you have to say McTominay? Why did you say McTominay? Don't, please. He was going. He's doing
because
so
he's the
well,
only
Mo. He's doing
player,
so
because
well.
he's the only physical player in the midfield.
And he's trash, bro. And he's still. Oh, I'm not
I
gonna
don't
get
like
into it,
him.
Mo.
No. I don't like him. I don't
Respectfully.
like him.
Yeah.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
just
I
don't
don't
want-
think he's a. I don't think he's a Manchester United level. But there is a reason why everybody that comes in plays the guy. Maybe he puts the effort in training or something. We don't know. Until you get somebody else, and I see a coach putting McTominay on the bench, I will be convinced that this guy does something we don't see on the training ground. Because it doesn't make any sense. Everybody that came and Alex Ferguson said, "Oh, this guy is good." So I will believe all of them over what we see on TV, in my opinion, what we see in the stadium. It's just this is something I learned in football. Sometimes people just see something we don't see. That's number one for Christian Eriksen. The second thing is all Lisandro Martinez will be a center back, and we saw how slow Maguire is against Melbourne. If you watch the highlights or you watch the game, you can see how slow he was. Uh, so you need another center back, and he can play on the left, and Varane on the
Facts.
right, and the center backs. Right? Your left side covered? I don't think so. With Luke Shaw and with Tellis, I don't think so. You still have Palacio. Malacia.
Bro,
Oh yeah,
Malacia.
Malacia. Oh, but that's a young kid. You cannot put a young kid like this to start in the Premier League. He's coming from
Maybe.
the Eredivisie. So, but anyway, Christian Eriksen and Martinez both fit Erik ten Hag because when he was at Ajax, he did not have a big physical midfield, and it's just the way he plays. So I think these are the right signings for Man United. I think Christian Eriksen deserves to be at Man United, deserves to be in the top 6 club. Martinez is the same. And at the end, you didn't pay what Ajax said. It's the last thing I heard today is still 47 million pounds. It's not 55 as they wanted.
What? Who? Sorry, Martinez.
Yeah, it's 47 million pounds, right?
Apparently, it's 45 million pounds as a total package. It's 55 million euros, so that's 46 million as a total package. I don't know what the initial fee is. I heard it was 45 million plus 10 million and add-ons.
They
That's all
wanted
I
more
know,
than
man.
this, so that's not bad. That's a
I
good
don't know.
money.
It's not. But I thought so as well. As initial fee, we're going to say 45 million euros, not plus the add-ons. We're talking about 36 million, I believe it is,
yeah,
roughly.
so
But
very
other
good.
than that, that's Man United as a whole.
Hold on.
Guys, if before you go, I just want to say to people, do make sure you smash the likes. Got a couple minutes left or so. Actually, probably a little bit longer. Actually, I'm going to dedicate about 5 minutes to guys. If you want to get your questions in, do get them in for the panel, not for me. And yeah, man, just make sure you get your questions in. I'm going to select about 3 or 4 of them. So yeah, go on, Daps.
So Marshall.
Hold on.
People that have watched Never Fail for a while or have subscribed to me in any sort of way for a long time have, especially if you're fans of Ty or Trafford Tunnel, have this opinion that I'm a hater of Anthony Marshall, right? Let me be clear what my agenda on Anthony Marshall has been from the get-go. I grew up in a generation where Manchester United had wingers that were unbelievable. So with Marshall, if you look at his 7 years at Man United, I think he's had at best 2 good seasons, a couple of average seasons, and a couple of pony seasons. All my agenda has been from the start of Never a Foul, because from the start of Never a Foul, Ty was so Anthony Marshall, Anthony Marshall, Anthony Marshall. My agenda was stop settling for mediocrity. He's not on the same level as some of the players that your club have had based on performances. That then has turned into him rating Marshall even more, and me laughing every time Marshall puts in a performance that stinks. Marshall has one good performance, he'll speak about it for the next year, right? Now, what I will say about Marshall is he's always had the excuse that whether it be the manager, whether it be the club, whatever it is, there's excuses. Last season, last season valid. Look, last couple of years, he's ultimately the same as most Man United players. He's been playing with no coach, right? You're not going to improve when you don't have a coach. Last season, he got loaned out. And guess what? I said when he got loaned out, one or two things will happen here. And I'm going to be proved wrong with this, I think. I said, if he performs, he won't come back to the Premier League. Because why would you? When the media is shit, when the fan base, some of the Man United fan base disrespects him, if he's gone to Spain, performed, and they love him, why would he want to come back to the Premier League? He'll be like, you know what, this is good for my career. I'm going to stay here, or I'm going to move elsewhere because it's made me see the grass sometimes can be greener. If he doesn't perform, Man United will not want him back, and they'll ship him out. That's where I'm wrong. Looks like Ten Hag rates him. Looks like Ten Hag wants him back, and he's always had qualities like he's clinical. He carries a ball extremely well. He carries the ball very, very well. He's a good player. It didn't help that whether it be the United fan base, whether it be the media, he was put forward as the next Thierry Henry. It's not good, right? These are the type of things like that make you, right, I'm going to go against this guy. How dare you talk about this guy being compared to Thierry Henry? So, however, I feel now that this is the season where there's no excuses for Marshall no more. He's got a coach, right? I saw the picture of Ten Hag coming out of a hotel and like probably just getting on a coach to the training ground or to the game or whatever, and he's in Marshall's ear talking. Yeah, that's what Marshall wants. I've never seen that with other managers. I've never seen managers actually saying, you know what, you're that guy, and I want to help you progress and be that guy that you want to be. I'm maybe presuming that was what the conversation was, but that's what it looked like to me. So that's the first time Marshall's got that. He's got Marshall interested, right? He's got Marshall thinking, do you know what? And why? Because there's no excuses for Marshall no more. If he doesn't succeed this year under Ten Hag, he can't say he hasn't got a coach. He can't say, oh, it's the club, because you were someone else.
Yes, you're right. You're right. It's either this.
It's down to him now.
Career depends on it. His career depends on it as well, man.
Even through his stinky seasons at Man United, he still made the France squad, right? So, although I don't believe he's necessarily in the squad right now, he's been rated when he hasn't been at his best. So, I do still think he could get in that three good months of football. I still think there could be a place on that plane for Marshall. But it's down to him. It is down to him.
Facts.
His whole football career is now down to him. And I've always heard he's best as a number 9. I'll be honest. Cavani is now gone. Ronaldo, whether he stays or go. If Ronaldo goes, Marshall is by far and away Manchester United's most clinical player.
Facts.
Right, he's going to play as your number 9, I believe. And you know what? When I saw the goal the other day, great the goal against Liverpool, very good finish, very good run into the box from the right.
Same thing today. He was hunting in the box. It was weird to see. He was hunting in the box and he got onto it. I was like, all right, cool, fair enough.
It's down to, and this is the key. If he flops this season, he's flopped. He can't blame anybody else but himself. And guess what? It's the next Henry was not there. It's down to him to do it. I hope he doesn't. You know what? He's a Man United player. I hope he doesn't. I really hope he flops because I couldn't care less. You know, as a human being, yeah, I could say, I hope everyone has a successful career. No, he plays for Man United. I hope he flops. But that doesn't mean that I don't. If it's down to him, he needs to put a shift in. He needs to track back. He needs to do everything that Ten Hag tells him he should be doing. And then he might get on the plane, and you know what? He might end up being your number 9 for the next couple of years. But
Maybe.
It's everything is aligned for him now. He's got a coach. He's been brought back when really he could have been sold. And now with Cavani and Ronaldo going, he's got a golden opportunity to prove that he can.
Best opportunity since he's pretty much joined. So this is the last few questions, by the way, before you wrap it up. King Sate says, "Big up you from the Discord. What is the panel top 4? I find out tomorrow. We're gonna do a show on that tomorrow, and hopefully, as it goes, if Mo's around, come with us too, and give us your thoughts.
Yeah. So Mo, as you're now part of the kind of team, we did something 2 weeks ago, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, where we did the whole Premier League based on the here and now. So based on the players that have been signed, sealed, delivered now. We did it 2 weeks ago, and we're doing it every 2 weeks to see how the transfers are making it change our opinions. So
we'll just compare what the table looks like, basically.
How it's changed throughout the summer. So
Samuel Ingram says Man United need a new next Ruud van Nistelrooy and Victor Osimhen. I'm telling you now, with Martial there doing what he's doing, we're not looking at another striker. Facts. The Glazers are the Glazers. And last one for Mo. Mo, thoughts on Rafael Leao?
Yeah, someone need to take him off. He's gonna, you know who needs him? He's very similar to Sterling in terms of speed, but not in terms of physicality, the body. But he's someone who runs with the ball, like Sterling. You know what I mean? Like Sterling, when he started at Man City, he used to run with the ball, runs past players, gets penalties, gets inside the box from the left side. Rafael Leao can be that guy for Man City, but he's an integral part in Milan's plan. But of course, in the Italy, he doesn't get paid enough. But Rafael Leao can be. Okay, Rafael Leao can be one of the best players for the next 5 years if he goes to the Premier League or he goes to Barcelona or Real Madrid, to be honest. He has every single thing. Big guy, finish, shooting, speed, everything to be one of the best players that we see.
Facts. I agree, man. I big up on that one, Mo. Obviously, we're going to end it there, guys. I've literally just posted a Discord link. This is where me and Daps talk football, mainly me more time. But we're in there with a few others, Carefree Lewis and so forth. You just get involved in talking football. It's literally in the comments as we speak. Do join it. Let me know what team you support so I can put you to a role so people know who you support. But guys, thank you for coming on and everything. It's much appreciated. It's hit 12 o'clock on the dot. Guys, if you are also on here watching, I'll be going on to Big Six Band, so stay here and you'll click the next video and you'll literally see me and a couple others over there. But other than
it to that,
I changed it. I done it. Cool. Yeah.
So,
but anything else you guys want to say?
Let them guys shout out themselves. Clinical and Mo.
On Clinical.
Nothing. Thank you so much, and probably I'll see you guys tomorrow. But
yes,
this was great. This was amazing, and I don't know why today suddenly, because it's Friday or something, a lot of news came through today.
Yeah, it seems to happen.
Yeah, people want to finish before the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Clinical.
It's been a great chat. Always love the opportunity to speak with you guys. I always learn a lot, and I'm always willing to learn a lot too. So I'm always grateful for the opportunity. If anyone
get you on a lot more Clinical as well.
Yeah, there's might be something brewing in the background as well. I'm sure Daps, just we know what we're talking about. But anything else you want to say, Daps?
No. Clinical. Where can they find you on?
If anyone wants to find me, you can follow my YouTube channel at it's the same name, Clinical with a K. I mostly play FIFA there if anyone's interested in that. But yeah, come on and follow the journey and support the team when it's out there. And if you want to hit me up on Instagram as well, it's Ken Clinical 9. So find me there.
I want to loud that N17 loud that, bro. We know you're not Yardy as well, so don't talk like that. But no, don't. It's the comfortable talk. Don't do it. Trust me, you don't mean it like that. I don't like that. So next time, I don't care if you don't mean it.
As Jamaican, because
but people don't say it like that. I know what this guy is, man. Bro. We know what it's like, bro. Come on, man. That's just me being if I'm wrong on my assumptions, sorry, bro. But anyways, stand here. If N70, if I'm wrong, I apologize sincerely, man, because I do. But
you're talking to me, bro. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, big up that. I stay on here. We'll say play next, and it'll go onto Monster's channel, Big Six Bands, and I'll be there in literally 2 minutes. So big up you guys, and
Everyone
love you
have a
all.
lovely weekend, and we'll see you
Yeah, man.
tomorrow.
Enjoy your weekends, man. Yeah, definitely. So yeah.